Loki's got his team ready, and he's ready to go. So let's check out Infinity Wars number 5. Hit the music. Alright guys, so you remember where we left off from Infinity Wars 4 was Loki was getting the team together. And he's done that. Now he's about to put them to work. But before we get to that, we have Gamora, who's at the quarry of creation, the God quarry. And she's at the bottom of it, and she's trying to break through to this other dimension that lays on the other side of it. She can't see what is there. And she's getting a little bit of attitude, with the Watchers even, telling them there's nothing to see. You're trying to bust through the floor to another dimension, and you don't want the Watchers to be there to check it out. I mean, come on, you're getting a little full of yourself. They're there to see epic things that happen in history. They should be there. But anyways, before she does anything else, she has to point out the fact that nothing is going to exit the Soul Gem until she wants it to. But that's cool, because look at what is going on in the Soul Gem with Devondra and all of the Infinity Warps characters and some of Loki's folks that I think got left behind. I mean, well, they did definitely get left behind. You got Arachnite and Weapon Hex. You got the Hulk busting through there. You got Ghost Panther, Iron Hammer. I mean, the thing for I didn't check out the Fantastic Four one yet, so I ain't gonna lie on that one. But I mean, yeah, you got all these guys just brawling with them. And an interesting conversation happens right here between Adam Warlock and Steven Rogers, the Doctor Strange Captain America mix. And he starts talking about, look, once this is done, Requiem will be able to undo everything she did. And that's actually what Captain America, Stephen Strange, is kind of afraid of. He's only known one life. These guys, as messed up as it is, that he's not being consent to being unmade. And, Adam Warlock points out that it complicates the matter. But whoever wields the stones could keep this universe together, basically in a bubble, if they wanted to. So that'll probably come into play to wrap this up neatly later. And I'll give it to Gerry Duggan on this one, because he tiptoed around a moral quandary right there for sure. But with that disaster avoided, we go back to Loki and his team. And they are going in search of the stones that exist within the soul world. Because when everything was copied from reality, it was copied down into the soul world. And so there are stones existing here too. Somehow they created duplicates, essentially. Well, they're doing that, and they arrive. First of all, Ant-Man carrying Ema Frost when you have the Hulk back there seems I don't know, call me crazy, but one of these things. I mean, why didn't the Hulk do it? If you're gonna come on, guys. Anyways, now Ema Frost, having the advantage of a telepath, takes advantage of that, and she knows what she's about to deal with, and it is child Gamora. Gamora as a child up there, and she has the soul, all the stones, the Infinity Stones, and she goes up there and she basically just plays nice with her. Kind of nice to meet you, and she asks, can she borrow the stones? And Miss Marvel actually does a good job here of just relating to her. I mean, she's basically a kid too, and they talk about how long they've been there, and talk about how she's been there ever since her parents died. And then she was with him, talking of Thanos. But this is the place where she retreats to. This is her place where he's not allowed. And while Loki's in the middle of explaining how everything got copied over, including the stones, to everybody else, like I just did for you guys, Emma and Miss Marvel come back down, or Kamal Khan, come back down, and with Child Gamora. And she hands over the rocks to everyone. You get this shot here of your boy Loki with all of the Infinity Stones, and it's about to get good, folks. Because remember this image from earlier? Well, all the way back to Infinity Countdown, they've been showing this, how the stones feed off each other, and how somebody who is strong in one area would be better with one of the stones than another. For instance, the Soul Stone is fed by the user's master of reality. The Time Stone is fed by the mastery of space. Reality Stone by the mastery of time. So if you have the stones in a certain order, they feed each other, and one will be more powerful. But if you have an individual that is powerful in that specific area, for instance, the Hulk being powerful, in this one, he is able to master the Space Stone. And that's what you see here. And that's exactly what Loki explains here. And I'm going to read this because it does a good job of explaining it. For reasons I can't quite discern at the moment, this universe is different, and so are the Infinity Stones. Mind governs matter, so Ema will get the most from the Power Stone. As the most powerful, Hulk will unlock the full potential of the Space Stone. Ant-Man is a clod, but a savant at manipulation of space. That will enable him to get the most from the Time Stone. Kang's mastery of time will grant him the most from the Reality Stone. I've lived, dived, lived, and thrived in multiple realities. That means the Soul Stone is mine. Miss Marvel has a young, incorruptible soul. She'll wield the Mind Stone. If you want to argue any of his selections, man, put them in the comments because I want to hear them. But this does make his selections make a lot more sense. And with that, they're about to go execute the plan. And, well, it just so happens that Phyla-Vell and Moondragon show up just in time before Gamora busts through the floor there that she was having so much problems with, and attack. They of course attack. It's not going well for them. They remind them that, hey, it's your fault we're here. You kind of drug us into this dimension, not our fault. And right as they do a good job. They manage to stab her, but you can't do anything to somebody with the Infinity Stones. But that's when Loki and the crew show up and remind her that, hey, this isn't a fair fight. And with that, the class is in session. It's on. And right off the bat, Gamora takes a swing at Ema Frost and shatters her Power Stone sword. Straight shatters it. And it goes back to the mind over matter portion of this. Kamala Khan, spotting the opportunity, quickly reaches out and grabs the Power Stone out of the hilt of the Power Stone sword. And like that, Gamora's at a disadvantage because now the Infinity Loop is broken. I could talk about the Infinity Loop afterwards because I got some problems with it. But after this, she's basically overpowered by these guys. And Ema Frost actually has to tip her hat to Loki here because he said it. She's trying to understand why they're different. She, of course, doesn't trust him, but she gets to look up as the Hulk demonstrates why this works and why his plan's working. It's because those individual powers are what comes into play here. And he just ricochets Gamora off the walls like a darn ping pong ball or a racquetball, just slinging her around just beating the snot out of her. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point this out. He actually points out, the Hulk does, that is, he says, it was actually pretty funny you teaming me up or sticking me to the puniest human. You're kind of funny, and I'm sorry for the rough stuff. So, even the Hulk thought the Ant-Man Hulk little monster thing was pretty funny. But after Gamora starts to get up, she doesn't even get a chance to recover, and it's Kang's turn. Kang, the Master of Time, is up to bat. And right away, she thinks she's going to, kill him that easy using the Reality Stone, and not a chance. He creates multiples of himself throughout the timeline, and they attack, and he just tells her, there's no way you could kill all of us. And here's where the tragedy of Gamora really kicks in, is you find out that all of this is because she wants Devondra to finish feeding so she can remake this a new universe. And it's a universe that she didn't have to live through this life. And that when she said it, it hurts. It's so painful to hear that from her because she's been such a loved character for such a long time. And to know the tragedy of her life, both from the comic books, even if you're just an MCU fan, you know the tragedy of her childhood. But with all this going on, with everything going around her, this big battle going around her, it dawns on her, where's Ant-Man? Well, and Scott Lang is just off to another epic heist. He has shrunk down. He is rolling away with both the reality and the space stone. And he's the heist guy, man. He did it. But then you get this scene of Loki reaching down and just picking up some common rocks. And from there, they just pour it on. Moondragon attacks, tells her she's being bad, and Kamala Khan agrees. And Thanos actually has to pile on because that's what he does. And says, I'm glad I'm not alive to see this. And Gamora's pretty much done at this point. Ema knocks her out with the Power Stone. And Loki's off high-fiving people. And you start seeing at least our old friend Floa starts noticing something. And what she notices is that when Loki was congratulating Miss Marvel, he palmed the stone she had. So he just walked away with the Power Stone. And then when he went over and put his arm around Scott Lang, he walked away with 2 more stones. And from there, knowing this Soul Stone he already had, he says it's time to get down to business. And he just throws these 2 away off to the Soul World, including Gamora. And like that, Loki has all of the Infinity Stones. And as they realize it, he simply just says, hey, if I don't return, it's only because I found something better. And just falls backwards through the bottom of the quarry of creation. And that is, he's gone. And they cannot believe Floa can't believe he actually did it. Floa, you know how she ain't looking so cocky now, is she? And from there we join Loki in this other dimension. And he just walks through, and the Infinity Stones have no power there. But he's going to keep them, because I would. And when he walks out, he looks up, he sees the Celestials. And he starts to yell at them, but I don't know what good it's going to do. But I guess we'll find out next issue. But we're not done, folks. We go back inside the Soul Stone. And there, the battle with the Devondra is still going on. Door opens up. They think Loki must have been successful, and in comes Requiem. Warlock directs everyone to attack. They do, and they pile on. Gamora, sorry, you ain't gonna make it. From there, we jump back to Drax, and I don't know who he's combined with. If somebody figures that out, let me know. But anyways, he's driving along and hits a tree, and that tree just so happens to be Groot. And I guess it's Quasar Nova Groot? I don't know. Anyways, he grabs him. Actually, is it Star-Lord? I think it may be Star-Lord. Anyways, he grabs him. They take off. And that's it. That's the end. So, there's one other snippet here, and that's the Infinity Wars Fallen Guardian #1 is coming up. And you can see that there, Blank made the ultimate sacrifice. So who is it going to be? I'd like to hear your guesses below. And, all right, to a couple issues I have right now. So one of the things I really don't like is it's this. And the floating Infinity Stones thing. It seems very video game-ish. I just don't like it. Get a gauntlet already. Get something. But this, I don't like the floating head gem things. It seems kind of lazy. I also got to say, there's some willy-nilly accountability of Infinity Stones going on in that one scene where they're battling Gamora. Go back on the video and check it out. And there are stones that are unaccounted for. Now, when they show up, she has the 6 stones, and they bring 6 more stones to the battle. So now there are 12 stones in this reality? Is that the case? Or I'm not sure. And then where did he get certain stones? He being Loki, where did he get some of the stones that he put together to get his complete set? I don't know. I think there were some accountability issues there, but I'm not going to run it down at this point. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for now. Make sure you click subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I've gotten over 20 subscribers in the last month, so I appreciate it, guys. It really helps this channel grow when you share this with friends, though. So please keep it up. And that's it, guys. Real Comics Acts out.